No, she's not cooperating.
Why? Because I won't give ID? There's unnecessary. I haven't committed a crime.
That's a private area back there.
It says right there.
For a second. Put your hands behind your back.
Hello everybody, Pink Camera Magic here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a video that I've been wanting to show for a long time. Now, a lot of you are probably very familiar with Sean Paul Reyes, aka Long Island Audit, and his whole debacle and lawsuit with the city of Berwyn, Illinois.
I don't want you recording me anymore.
You don't want me recording you?
Yeah, I mean, it's my rights, just like you're saying, you know.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I don't want you.
Don't touch me.
You can keep the phone.
This should be a good one. No cameras or recording devices without prior approval.
As you can see, Sean went and did his thing in the city of Berwyn. And while he was there, he was ultimately arrested and originally charged with wiretapping, which is a felony. But then they looked at everything and realized that that does not apply to his situation. So they instead decided to charge him with disorderly conduct, which ultimately he went to take to a trial. And on the date of the trial, they decided to drop the charges. And this is largely due to the fact that the judge decided to let cameras be there. And there were a lot of cameras. There was some big news outlets that were there. And when the mayor saw that, they changed their tune right away and decided to go ahead and drop the charges. Now, something that I've always known about Berwyn, along with my friend Chitown Sue, is that they've been very corrupt for as long as I can remember. And in fact, the video that I'm going to show you is a video of Sue being arrested, doing the same thing. This is back in 2018.
Oh, they park.
Five. Yeah, can you 25 the west lot? Apparently there's a female white with gray hair and a video camera videotaping all of the personal vehicles.
No, thanks.
You videotape our vehicles over here.
Sure.
You're videotaping personal vehicles.
Uh-huh.
What's it for?
I'm just gathering footage.
For what?
I'm doing a little story in the police department.
Can I get your ID?
For what? If I committed a crime?
Well, you're back in a personal area.
Yeah, it says I can't drive back there. And there's public
You
access.
can't walk over here.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say private property. And there's publicly accessible sidewalk right here. There's a publicly accessible sidewalk walking me right down here.
Negative, I'm on the street.
And it only says I can't come in here. Excuse me, I can't come in here with a car.
You can't be in here by our cars.
What law is that?
It's our policy.
Well, policy doesn't trump my
I'll
rights.
let the supervisor talk to you.
Am I being detained?
No, you're not.
Okay, I'm going to go on about my business.
No, she's not cooperating.
Why? Because I won't give ID? There's unnecessary. Unnecessary. I haven't committed a crime.
That's a private area back there.
It
Put
says
that
right
down
there.
For a second. Put your hands behind your back.
It says right there that it's for vehicles only. That I can't come through there with vehicles only. It's city-owned, which means probably accessible. There's a sidewalk right here that allows me to go that way.
We're just going to find out what's going on here first.
I just told you what's going on. I told them what was going on.
Okay, do I know you?
You need to know me?
You don't know me, so I don't have to trust anything you say. We're gonna find out what's going on. Your rights aren't being
You're
violated.
detaining me and putting me in handcuffs
Yeah,
for what crime?
because you're over
What?
here behind
That's not a
these
crime.
vehicles.
That's not a crime.
These
not
are
a
private
crime.
vehicles.
It's not a crime. They're in public.
Who's that?
It's not a crime to do that.
Yeah.
You're putting me in handcuffs for no crime?
Sir, this is for our safety.
Safety
We don't know
for
who you
what?
are.
I said I
Be careful, because
safety of a video camera?
we've had shots fired at our cars, okay? We don't know who you
It
are.
has nothing to do with my rights. Okay, I'm here with a video camera. You guys can search me and do whatever you want. I'm not here for any ill will. or
Clearly
anything like
marked,
that.
do not enter, police vehicles only.
Police vehicles
You
only.
read, you
Police
speak English?
vehicles only.
Okay.
My vehicle
Arrest,
can't go in
you
there
don't
yet.
trust that state
So what's with this public sidewalk right here? That's leading me right there.
215 to Berwyn. Go ahead.
Criminal justice reported property, we're done.
You
You should stop putting evidence until court date.
look that up.
For what though?
Criminal justice reported property.
But it doesn't say it. It just says vehicles.
It says
You
do
know what I
not
mean?
enter. You read the first part that said do not
Yeah,
enter,
enter.
right? Did you understand?
Authorized vehicles
did,
only.
Did you understand the first
Yeah,
part said
authorized
do not
vehicles
enter?
only.
Okay, good, you're under arrest.
Come on,
Good day.
man.
That's our gentleman.
One thing about me is that I know that it's really important to feel like you've been vindicated in some way, shape, or form. And I don't think that Sue got that in this case. In fact, I know she didn't. She took it to a jury trial and they ended up finding her guilty. She appealed it and she did not win on the appeal. And it's pretty sad. You see, when you walk in, she was walking around in the parking lot area where the police officers park their cars typically. Now, this parking lot was open. There's nothing showing that it's like a closed off area. There's no fence. The only signage that they had was a sign right in the driveway area that said something along the lines of no through traffic or police vehicles only, right? Which would indicate to anybody that that's intended for vehicles turning in. Like the general public can't go in there and park. But there's sidewalks that are open that go right to the parking lot. And anybody could walk. In fact, a lot of us have walked since then in the back area. And what their claim is, and this is why she didn't win her appeal too, is because they said that it took away from somebody's comfort because they felt threatened and violated because she was taking pictures and video of their license plates. But what they failed to realize is that license plates are public, and that's why they're located on the outside of your vehicle and not on the inside. And literally anybody can just walk on the sidewalk and take their camera and look and see that there's full access to anybody's license plates or anything else that they want to take a video of, which we have since. I've had live streams myself and the late, great Denise Lynn. We've been out there a couple of times to record. I was actually approached by one of the officers that arrested her, and his name is Carl Gray. And yeah, it was bad. She was telling me that when she was there, they kept her camera, they kept her phone, and they were basically belittling her, and they were threatening her with 20 years in prison for wiretapping. And it was just really bad. And she came out being very shook up. And I have a feeling that played a large role in the fact that, and the reason why she doesn't get out there and audit as much as she used to, or like how she used to. I know it created a lot of anxiety and a lot of issues. And so that being said, it's always kind of been on my mind, this case here, and I've been wanting to show you. And I think that it needs to get a little bit of traction. Because if you know me, you know that I feel really strong about the court of public opinion, which I think does a whole lot more than going to see a judge, because these judges are oftentimes in cahoots. Now, for those of you who know Long Island's video, you might recognize this picture of the mayor, but you know who he's standing next to? The person he's standing next to is the judge who was in my case in Cook County that made me delete the footage. Well, didn't make me because I didn't, because the footage was already deleted, but insisted that he's the one who took my SD card and insisted that the footage be deleted even without any type of due process or anything like that. So yeah, these guys are in cahoots big time. And there's so much deeply embedded and deep-rooted tyranny. And I think that a lot of these people, they grew up in this, and so they don't even look at it as being tyrannical. It's just sort of business as usual. But hopefully that will change in the future. And then the only way that that's actually going to happen is through transparency, which is something that we have to demand from these government employees. We have these two officers. Now, Carl Gray, he's an interesting fellow. This guy, Carl, he recently retired, and now he works for some kind of a Delta Defense, I think out of Wisconsin. But one thing that's interesting about him, like Carl Gray is like the biggest fucking snowflake that I've probably ever encountered in law enforcement. This guy, I'm gonna tell you what he did, right? We were at court, because I went with Sue to a lot of her court dates. And we were in court for this, and while they were leaving, me and Sue, we were sitting in there, and he walked past us, and he started freaking out. He goes, "Oh my God, oh my God." And then he said, "She's recording," talking about Sue and her cell phone, because she had her cell phone out. And she was not recording. So what ended up happening is the judge said she was going to take the phone unless she allowed the DA to go through it. So yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. But so they went through it, and they spent a good, 15 minutes just like going through everything on her phone, and then they realized that she wasn't recording. But yeah, Carl's a big bitch. And I'm gonna tell you another thing about Carl too. One time I was out there live streaming, and he walked out in my live stream, and it was just really creepy. He was just like, "Yeah, I know you, pink camera magic, and I know all about you," and was saying a bunch of weird, creepy shit. So yeah, he's a big doofus. And he's a tyrant, and yeah, he does not need to be in law enforcement, and he's no longer in law enforcement, thank goodness. Speaking of doofuses, do you remember this guy from Long Island Audit's video? Not him, this guy right here. This is Thomas Tate. And Thomas Tate he's also a dickhead, but he's been with the department for a very long time. I'm not sure if he's still with the department, but I did put in requests for records for both of them, and I haven't heard back yet. So hopefully I'll get those soon. And when I do, I'll be sure to share those with you. So anyways, this happened on March 22nd, 2018, only like a week before my arrest in Cook County. So a lot was happening for me and Sue in February and March of 2018. Between the two of us, I think we've gotten arrested like 4 times for different things. But I think it's very important to bring this to the forefront so that you guys can see this arrest, because you are the people, we are the people, and they need to be accountable to us. So there's no way for you to feel a certain way, or they have no motivation to change if they don't think that what they're doing is wrong. And the only way that they're gonna think that what they're doing is wrong is if we let them know that what they're doing is wrong, because ultimately we have the final say so.